the monumental 6.0 update that opened the gates of Nod-Krai and introduced brand new lunar mechanics, HoYoverse clearly has no plans of slowing down. This time, we're looking at an update that not only expands on what we've just discovered, but also shakes up the meta with new characters and some highly anticipated reruns. Without further delay, let's break down what's official, what comes from credible leaks, and what all of this really means for us adventurers who love this rich world. Buckle up! We're in for an overview worthy of a legendary quest. To understand 6.1, we first need to look back at 6.0. Called Luna 1, it introduced Nod-Krai, a dark and mysterious region inspired by gothic and dark fantasy themes, yet still bursting with color, a striking contrast indeed. Along with it came new mechanics, the lunar effects and the now famous Lunar-Bloom, an organic system that changes how our elemental reactions interact in certain areas. This foundation is key because 6.1 won't be starting from scratch. It's set to build upon what 6.0 began, much like a story arc in a series that grows in scale with the second episode. From there, the timing of the update also becomes important. HoYoverse runs like clockwork. Every 6 weeks, a new version drops. Since 6.0 launched on September 10th, version 6.1 is expected to arrive on October 22nd. This projection follows the usual release pattern and has been backed up by both aggregators and reliable leaks. Of course, it's not a date carved into Celestia's divine stone, but it lines up perfectly with the standard cycle and has been confirmed as a trustworthy estimate by several sources. So, if you're planning your farming routes or saving for banner pulls, it's worth circling that week on your calendar. Now let's move on to what everyone's most excited about, the characters. It's almost certain that the star of this update will be Nefer, a brand new 5-star Dendro Catalyst. That alone already feels like a potential game changer. Ever since Sumeru, Dendro has reshaped the meta, and the idea of a Dendro mage who can tap into lunar mechanics is nothing short of thrilling. While HoYoverse hasn't officially revealed Nefer's kit yet, everything points to her becoming a cornerstone for reaction-based teams, with powerful synergies alongside Hydro and Electro. It's also worth noting that Lauma is rumored to be an unwavering support for Nefer, only adding to the hype that keeps growing. For players who love optimizing, this could mean a brand new top-tier Dendro DPS on the horizon, and that's huge. As if that weren't enough, version 6.1 could also bring back some of the most highly anticipated reruns. Several sources mention Furina, Zhongli, and Arlecchino as likely candidates for the banners. The hype is at its absolute peak here, because alongside a brand new 5-star Dendro character, we're also looking at reruns of some of the strongest pillars of the meta. Zhongli remains the ultimate shield and an Archon with unmatched charisma. Arlecchino stands as one of the best DPS characters in the game, if not the best, and Furina offers unique team mechanics that set her apart from everyone else. Put simply, we could be getting 2 Archons, an insane Pyro DPS, and a one-of-a-kind 5-star all at once. What more could players ask for? If this lineup holds true, version 6.1 is set to break hearts. And wallets. Choosing wisely will be key, just like in a true RPG where you can't have everything at once. On top of that, the narrative side of the update also looks promising. Looking at the official roadmap and past version patterns, it's clear that 6.1 won't be the kind of massive exploration update we saw with Sumeru 3.0 or Fontaine 4.0. Instead, it seems to focus on deepening the story. Nod-Krai, introduced in 6.0, still has many secrets to uncover, and HoYoverse appears to be leaning into a more contained format. Rich Archon quests, dense side quests, story-driven events, and juicy revelations to keep players hooked. What this means in practice is that, instead of unlocking new kilometers of map, 6.1 will invite us to revisit already open zones with a fresh perspective. We can expect polished cutscenes, richer dialogue, and possibly new developments surrounding the mysterious factions of Nod-Krai. This approach makes sense. HoYoverse often alternates between big exploration-focused updates and smaller, more narrative-driven ones. Some players may feel a little disappointed, but it's important to see the balance. There are journey and action episodes that expand the world. And then there are revelation episodes where the focus is on dialogue, politics, and flashbacks. Even if some grit their teeth, this kind of pacing could make exploration feel more balanced, encouraging us to dig deeper into every corner of the already unlocked map. And of course, no Genshin update would be complete without events. Even though HoYoverse is still keeping part of that a mystery, We can almost certainly expect a mix of fun mini-games, epic combat challenges, and maybe even a free weapon handed out through a major event. It's the classic formula, but still an effective one. Lighthearted fun for casual players, tough fights with unique mechanics for those who love a challenge. And let's be honest, events always mean free Primogems. And that alone is enough reason to log in every day. Every new version puts the Spiral Abyss meta to the test, and 6.1 will be no exception. With the arrival of Nefer and the possible rise of Lunar-Bloom mechanics, we might witness a shakeup in what the most effective teams look like. If the leaks about new enemies turn out to be true, some players will need to rethink their team compositions, and maybe even dust off characters that haven't seen use in ages. That's the beauty and frustration of Genshin. Nothing stays fixed forever, and version 6.1 looks ready to shuffle the deck once again. Nefer in particular is shaping up to be an exceptional character who could restore some shine to the game's meta. Beyond the headline additions, HoYoverse also tends to sneak in quality of life improvements with each patch. For 6.1, rumors point to interface tweaks and better inventory management. Changes that, let's be honest, are long overdue when your bag looks more like a Teyvat flea market than a proper adventurer's toolkit. These details might not grab the spotlight, but they're the little touches that make daily gameplay smoother and prove that the studio is listening to its community. At least on some points. All in all, version 6.1 is shaping up to be a pivotal update. On one hand, it builds on the momentum of 6.0 with Nod-Krai and the lunar mechanics. On the other, it sets the stage for the future with a potentially game-defining new 5-star and some absolutely stacked reruns. With story content, events, meta shifts, and quality-of-life adjustments all coming together, this patch has everything it needs to stand out as one of the most memorable of the post-Sumeru era. Sure, the map won't be expanding this time, but honestly, who cares about a few extra chunks of land when we're getting a character as gorgeous as Nefer? You get the point. We're completely sold on this emerald beauty. So save up those Primogems, get your teams ready, and stay tuned for the official announcements. Because in Genshin, just like in any great saga, the line between rumor and reality is often as thin as a strand of Liu silk. Or to borrow a line from Gandalf, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us.